and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the... Oh wait, I should fix that title. Welcome back to StegoMonday number 2. I'm of course your host, VIP. With me, I'm joined by the players, the plushies, the people in the chat. Welcome everyone, welcome to another weekly open tournament. Long gone are the days of the Orsosaurus Cup. Welcome to the StegoMonday Cup instead. The second edition so far. Second edition. We have our first series, we have our first matchup, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the American Terran player, the Red Terran, representing the Cranky Ducklings as he is one of our own. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Argentinian Terran player, the Purple Terran, representing Clan Niebla. It is Kyto. We're proxy. As the SUV does move out across the map, it does scroll around towards the left-hand side. Second SUV is moving out as well, so it's going to be proxy 2 racks here out of Kyto. Meanwhile, Dolan going for what looks to be a racks expand. It's still a little bit early to tell if he's going to take a second gas geyser, but if it's going to be an economic opener, this is going to be more ideal for the Purple Terran. And I need to very quickly set up the title. My apologies. On top of that, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Predictions are now open. Get your gamba going. The gamba, papi, the gamba. Ah. But I knew I forgot something. So hold on. It's not the Wardy TV Monday. There we go. The StegoMonday number 2. Beautiful, beautiful. They just update the in-game title. Also, my apologies, I assumed it was going to be a proxy 2 racks, but no, it's going to be proxy 3 racks, as there is a third SCV. As we are making a third racks here behind this. Gases have been taken, so it's going to be 3 racks Reaper here from our Purple Terran player. But it was a double gas. Ooh, double gas opener out of Dolan. This is better for the Red Terran. What I was going to say is that if this was a single gas opener into a Rax Expand, into something more economic, then Dolan would be in a lot more trouble. But here he's going for a very safe response with this faster Hellion. Dolan SCV Scouts, yeah, he confirms that there is no Rax back at home. He knows that something is wrong, something is up. He does throw down a bunker as well. Very strong response here out of Dolan. Now he's scouting, he's looking, will find the Reaper. He shoots first. No, he does shoot first. Oh my god. Shuts down the first Reaper. A rough start here for Kyto. Not like this. Every Reaper counted and all in. And the first one goes down. We have 3 more on the way, but Dolan is now fully aware of what's going on. The bunker is now done. And Dolan, he even sends 1 Reaper across the map. What does this mean? There is nothing at home to defend. As long as Dolan micros well, as long as he has the attention, he should shut down every single one of these SCVs, even throwing down a bunker in the main base. Oh my god, he's crazy. Bunker has been thrown down. Meanwhile, we see Kyto trying to find a way into the main base as well. SCV's going to be folding. Kyto does bypass the ramp, does bypass the bunker. Headed for the main. Ooh. Likewise, bunker under fire, and it looks like Dolan, he won't quite be able to finish the bunker across the map. Meanwhile, in the main base, his CC is going to be delayed. Hellion has arrived, and Dolan, he should be able to deal with this. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Surround comes in, and the Reapers are just a little bit too low. They should be going down. 2 of them fall already. 3 of them fall. 1 Reaper left, and Dolan, he will defend. Meanwhile, across the map, a bunker finishes. It's going to be salvaged. Alas, it looks like the Reaper got surrounded in the middle of the chaos. Like Dolan did lose the 1 Reaper, but back at home, he's safe, he's secure. My apologies, thought that was a CC for a moment, but it's a 1-1-1. And Dolan, he has a massive worker lead, 22 SCVs to 13. And Kyto just doesn't have the Reaper count anymore. I mean, he's got 4 Reapers. As time goes on, the Hellion count is getting higher and higher. Hellions, of course, they can do splash damage. They can, and they will. Oof. Yeah, the Reapers, they do line up with nice control here, pulling back the weakened Hellion, cleans up all the Reapers. And once again, Dolan does hold. GG gets called, and Dolan takes game number 1. Whew. GG. What a way to start the tournament. What a way to... GG, well played. Dolan does take lead in the series. Again, it was a very committed all-in out of Kyto, and he was gambling a little bit. Again, if Dolan had gone for a more economic opener, then it would have been a much more difficult defense for Dolan. If he had delayed his factory, which means later Hellion, which means Reapers would have been able to wreak havoc a little bit longer as well. But Dolan had gone for an SCV scout. He pieced it all together. He at least knew that there was some kind of proxy, or that there was something weird going on. Didn't know how many racks or anything like that. He came across the first Reaper, and yeah, Solid defense here out of Dolan. But we'll see if Kyto can bounce back. I don't think we really got to see much of him, as game 1 was a cheese, was a proxy. Here in game 2, I imagine we're going to be seeing something more macro, but I don't know the kind of player that Kyto is. I don't know if cheese is all he does. I don't know. I imagine not, but we'll see. We'll see if we see another kind of proxy, another kind of aggression, or something different. Oh, okay. Fun fact, Dolan, he's letting us know that he was actually looking for Proxy Marauder. When he realized that the Rax was missing, when he saw both gases taken, he assumed it was Proxy Marauder. He was caught off guard by the fact that it was Reapers. Wow, there you go. I mean, that was another possibility, true. But here we go, we're now getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the American Terran player, the Red Terran representing the Cranky Ducklings. It is Dolan. The danger, Dolan. Let's go. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Argentinian Terran, the Purple Terran. It is Kyto. Let's go. And this time, no SCV being sent across the map. This time it looks like Kyto is going for the Rax back at home. We're calming things down after a very chaotic game 1. We're going to be throwing down that Rax, calming things down, and now we can embrace a bit of a longer game, a longer setup here. We can take a moment, we can take a breath. Kyto is opening up double gas. Okay, so with this is going for, in a way, you could argue safer or more aggressive opener. It does mean that there's going to be a faster factory. It means faster Hellion production, can lead into faster Cyclones as well. Likewise, double gas out of Dolan. This makes sense from the Red Terran, considering what just happened in game 1. It does make sense to open up double gas once again. And the SCV scout is moving out. Now, in this initial opener, technically Kyto is slightly ahead. The reason for this is Dolan is sending an SCV to scout. Kyto is not, which means Kyto has one worker additional that is mining. It's mining, that's of course gathering resources, so there's a slight economic advantage. The downside, of course, is that Kyto's in the dark. Kyto, he has no idea what's going on. Meanwhile, Dolan confirms the Rax is at home. So Dolan has the knowledge that he is safe, of course, that there is no cheese. For all Kyto knows, I mean, there could be Raxes right outside his base. There could be aggression coming his way. There's a little bit of ambiguity as to what Dolan is up to. But outside of that, we can settle in. SCV does race back home. And we're getting into our factories. Now from here, we can just get into, Reacted Reaper Hellion. Again, we could go into Cyclones. Could go into initial Widow Mine and go for a drop later. We do have options. Curious where our players take us. Kyto going for the CC on the low ground. Dolan moving out for a scout. So this is a risky maneuver here by Dolan. Doesn't want to lose the Reaper. We'll dip in, we'll confirm, and we'll get the hell out of here. But at least is aware that there is a CC on the way. Dolan doing the same. Meanwhile, we have our answer. It is going to be a Reacted Reaper Hellion out of Dolan. This is a much more aggressive follow-up. With this, you can get up to, 2, 3 Hellions. Can get up to 3, if not even 5 Reapers and try to rush into the natural. Meanwhile, Kyto is going for something a little bit more defensive early on, going for Cyclones. Is going for earlier Cyclone production. This can lead into a second Cyclone and a Medevac and a Cyclone drop. As Kyto is going to be building up back at home. There we go. Second Cyclone is on the way. And Dolan is making an extra wave of units here, so he is going up to 3 Hellions and 5 Reapers. This can hit like a truck. Ideally, this gets into a mineral line. On top of that, ideally, this gets on top of the first Cyclone. So there is potential for Dolan to snipe the first Cyclone and then snowball from there. Well, that is going to be a big if. As this army can wreak havoc in a mineral line. And Dolan should be pulling the trigger once he has those 2 Reapers. Here we go. The Reapers, they pop out. And Dolan should be pushing. There we go. Does pull the trigger. Meanwhile, back at home, Kyto did open up double Cyclone, and he's going to be moving out with the drop. Now, what is scary here is that Kyto, as he moves out, he might miss the army. They might pass by each other. They might and they will. He does barely catch a glimpse. But Kyto, he doesn't respond, and now his mineral line is exposed. The Cyclones are not at home. They're not at home to defend. Reaper goes down. SCVs, mules as well. So much damage already. 5, 6 SCVs falling. And Kyto, he commits. He does commit. Reapers, they do get behind the mineral line. Hellions trying to work their way through as well. Ooh, one Reaper goes down. They do get more SCVs at the same time, though. The Cyclones, they're busting into the main. And is there anything at home to defend? There's one tank on the way. There's Marines. There's going to be a Raven. There's going to be an auto turret. Auto turret gets placed. Ooh, Cyclone goes down. Dolan defends. Meanwhile, back across the map, 11 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Kyto, though, he's not done. Does get a worker across the map, but it's still only one Cyclone. And it's that much less threatening. Dolan getting supply block for a moment. It does break out of it. Does defend. And everything just works out just really fortunately here for Dolan. It was unfortunate that Kyto had, I mean, he didn't miss the move out. If you recall, the medevac did catch a glimpse of the Hellions, but it looks like Kyto himself did miss it. So unfortunately he did miss the scouts. As a result, he wasn't able to boost back. If he had, I mentioned before that the pressure was going to be on Dolan to snipe one of those Cyclones. Cyclones defensively against Hellion Reaper can actually perform really well. They can be really tanky, especially with medevac micro to lift and to pick them up. But they were out of position, right? Kyto, he was out of position. He had gone across the map. He was vulnerable at home. And with that, Dolan takes a massive worker lead. And the pressure is on Kyto now to somehow bounce back. Defending is not good enough in this kind of game state. He does need to counterattack in some way or try to be hyper greedy. What I mean by that, faster TC. You know, take a fast third base on location, just try and be greedy and cut corners, or try and, you know, set up like a counterattack doom drop for when Dolan moves out. Something more drastic needs to be done as Dolan is going for his own move out as well. Interference Matrix has been researched. He has disables on these Ravens. He has 3 Ravens in total. Has his tanks, of course, as well. Dolan is pushing. And this is going to be a tough hold here for Kyto. He's got his tank. He's got Stim on the way. He's got up to 3 tanks, but only one of them is on the low ground. The other 2 are a little bit further back. They do need a siege. But even if they do, I mean, that's what the Ravens are for. Dolan, he is going to be slow pushing. Within range of the depots. Barely out of range of the tanks. Rosar gets thrown down. Cheeky move there out of Kyto. I believe he has not researched interference matrix. Ooh, there's a disable. One of the tanks going to be going down. Kyto is up against the wall. He's even supply blocked. No. Does get supply blocked. Another disable. Dolan can push forward. He has his own Vikings. Oof. Yeah, and he's just slowly breaking his opponent here. There's one tank left. Not like this. There's another disable. Auto turret as well. And Dolan looks like he has done it. Game 1, he survived the aggression. He survived the cheese of his opponents. Here in Game 2, was a little bit cheeky himself. Took a bit of a gamble, took a bit of a risk, but did make it pay off in the end. Gets a kill on the CC. GG, well played. And Dolan will be taking the series here as he does claim control of the natural. Good luck in the tournament. Less than 3. Less than 3. And Dolan will take the 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was really unfortunate here in Game 2 that Kyto had gone across the map when he did. As I mentioned though, like the medevac did spot the Hellions for like 1 or 2 seconds. Unfortunately, Kyto didn't react in time. If he had, different game. If he unloaded those Cyclones, suddenly he defends the mineral line. He's able to hold on, especially if he has the micro to juggle his Cyclones and to keep them alive. Then he would have been able to hold on, and that we would have gone into a longer game state, into a longer back and forth mid game. But him committing across the map and losing his mineral line, that was a really brutal moment. And yeah, it did put Kyto on the back foot. GG. GG, well played. Dolan does take it. Dolan does advance on. And now we're heading over to find out where we're headed next. Exclamation mark and B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and there is a lot to go over.